Have you ever wondered why at the end of every single day you feel so exhausted, not in your body, but somewhere deeper, somewhere you cannot name? Have you noticed how the smallest interruptions steal your peace, and how by evening you feel as though you have been carrying stones you never agreed to lift? There is a terror in this. A quiet unraveling that whispers you are failing at something essential. But there is also a promise hidden inside this weariness, a message encoded in the very fatigue that threatens to undo you. You're sitting at the edge of your bed right now, or perhaps standing in your kitchen with your hand resting on the cool countertop. The light is fading outside. You can hear the hum of the refrigerator or the distant murmur of traffic. You feel it again, that heaviness pressing against your chest. That sense that you have misplaced something precious, but you cannot remember what it was or when you lost it. This moment is not an accident. This moment is a threshold. This is not random. What you're experiencing is not the result of poor time management or lack of discipline or any failure of character. You are being called into awareness. The exhaustion you feel, the scattering of your attention, the way peace slips through your fingers like water. These are symptoms of a spiritual condition that most people live with their entire lives without ever naming. But you are different. You have been chosen to see it. The very fact that you are troubled by this restlessness means your soul is awake enough to recognize that something sacred is being stolen from you hour by hour, choice by choice, distraction by distraction. Saint Seraphina once wrote in her hidden letters, "The soul starves not from lack of bread, but from the 1,000 small refusals to be present before God." She knew this truth intimately because she herself fought this battle every day of her earthly life. She was not a mystic who withdrew into a cave. She lived among people. She cooked and cleaned and spoke with neighbors and felt the weight of daily obligations. And yet she discovered something that changed everything. She learned that the greatest danger to the soul is not dramatic sin or shocking rebellion. It is this low, nearly invisible habit of letting your attention be pulled away from the divine presence that surrounds you in every moment. It is the daily errors, the small betrayals, the quiet agreements you make with distraction that build a wall between you and the peace you were created to live in. In the unseen world, something profound is happening right now. Angels assigned to guard your soul are watching with concern as you move through your days. They see what you cannot see. They witness the moments when you reach for your phone instead of sitting in silence. They observe when you fill every quiet space with noise because stillness has become unbearable. They notice when you say yes to things you should decline, when you rush through conversations that deserve your full presence, when you let worry about tomorrow steal the grace that is being offered to you right now in this present breath. Each of these small choices creates a kind of static, a interference in the channel through which divine grace flows into your life. It is not that God withdraws. It is that you become unable to receive what is being constantly given. Your soul, designed to be a vessel for holy presence, becomes instead a sieve. Everything pours through. Nothing is held. Nothing is savored. Nothing transforms you. This is where you must understand something crucial. The very sensitivity that makes you aware of this problem is itself a sign of your calling. Most people do not feel this ache. Most people have learned to numb themselves so thoroughly that they no longer notice the absence of the sacred in their daily lives. But you notice. You feel the loss. You recognize that something essential is missing. This recognition is not a burden. It is a gift. You have been marked from before your birth to be someone who carries the presence of God into the ordinary world. But first, you must learn to stop scattering yourself. You must learn to guard your inner life as fiercely as you would guard a flame in a storm. The weakness you feel, the exhaustion, the sense of being overwhelmed, these are not signs that you are failing. They are signs that you are being prepared for something far greater than comfort. Are you beginning to see how this connects? How the very thing that troubles you is also the doorway to your transformation. But you must learn discernment. Not every feeling of guilt or conviction is from the divine source. There is a voice that condemns, that heaps shame, that tells you that you are too far gone and too broken and too distracted to ever find your way back. That voice does not come from heaven. The true call of the Spirit is different. It comes with sorrow, yes, but also with hope. It shows you your patterns not to destroy you, but to free you. It reveals your daily errors not to crush you under guilt, but to wake you up to the possibility of living differently. When the divine presence touches your awareness, you will feel grief for what you have lost. But you will also feel a strange lightness. The fruit of this conviction is not despair but clarity, not paralysis but movement, not self-hatred, but a tender compassion for yourself and others who are caught in the same web of distraction and hurry. Here is what you must do when you feel that pull toward distraction. When you notice yourself reaching for the next thing before you have finished the present thing. When you sense your attention scattering like birds startled into flight. Stop. Place your hand over your heart and silently pray these words. Lord, gather me back to you. Nothing more. Do not make long speeches. Do not promise great reforms. Simply ask to be gathered. Say it in the moment of fragmentation. Say it when you are standing in line or waiting at a red light, or lying awake at 3 a.m. Say it when you are angry, or bored, or afraid. Let these words become a thread that pulls you back to center, back to presence, back to the awareness that you are never alone. You need to know this. Right now, as you listen to these words, holy beings are interceding for you. Saint Seraphina herself, who walked the same difficult path of learning to be present, is praying for your success. The angels who have been with you since your first breath are not discouraged by your struggles. They are patient. They are hopeful. They see the trajectory of your soul across time, and they know what you are becoming. Every time you catch yourself in the act of distraction and choose, even for just one breath, to return to presence, to return to awareness of the sacred in the ordinary, they rejoice. Every time you resist the urge to fill silence with noise, every time you choose to fully listen to another person instead of planning your next words, every time you pause before reacting in anger or fear, a victory is won in the unseen realm. These victories are recorded. They are treasured. Nothing is wasted. The hidden work you do, the inner battles no one sees, the moments when you turn away from the easy distraction and choose instead to be where you are, to be fully present to this moment, this person, this task, this breath. These moments are building something eternal inside you. You are becoming a different kind of person. Not perfect, not without struggle. Not without struggle, but awake, present, capable of holding the sacred, capable of becoming a vessel through which divine love flows into a world that is dying of distraction and hurry, and the terrible loneliness of people who are never fully anywhere. This is why the daily errors matter so much. They are not just personal failings, they are missed opportunities for communion with God. Every moment of your life is meant to be an encounter with the holy, but you have been trained by your culture, by your devices, by your own habits, to move through these moments as though they are empty, as though they are just the space between the things that really matter. But there is no empty space. Every moment is full. Every moment is an invitation. The question is whether you are present enough to receive what is being offered. Think about your morning. You open your eyes. Before your feet touch the floor, have you already reached for your phone? Have you already begun the anxious cataloging of tasks and obligations? Or do you pause, even for 3 breaths, to remember that you have been given another day, that you are held in existence by a love that is more intimate than your own heartbeat? This is not about adding more spiritual activities to an already crowded schedule. This is about learning to meet the life you already have as sacred ground. The coffee you make, the face you wash, the words you speak, the work you do. All of it can become prayer if you are present to it. All of it can become a place where you meet God if you stop trying to get through it and instead learn to be in it. Are you feeling the shift? Are you sensing that what seemed like a problem might actually be an invitation? But this requires something difficult from you. It requires that you begin to say no. No to the constant stimulation. No to the endless scroll. No to the belief that you must always be productive, always be available, always be moving toward the next thing. These refusals will feel strange at first. Your body will protest. Your mind will generate urgency and anxiety. You will feel as though you are missing something important. This is normal. You have trained your nervous system to expect constant input. Withdrawing that input will create discomfort. But on the other side of that discomfort is something you have been longing for without knowing what to call it. Silence that is not empty but full. Stillness that is not boring but alive. Presence that is not dull but radiant with meaning. The transformation that is being offered to you is not small. It is not a minor adjustment to your routine. It is a complete reorientation of how you inhabit your life. The sign of exhaustion and scattered attention that brought you to this moment is a doorway. You can walk through it. You can learn to live differently. The daily errors that have been stealing your peace can be recognized and released. You can learn to guard your inner life. You can learn to be where you are. You can become someone who carries presence, who offers the rare gift of full attention, who lives in communion with the divine, not just in special moments of prayer, but in the texture of ordinary hours. But you must begin. You must take the first step. And that step is simply this. Notice when you are scattering. Notice when you are reaching for distraction. Notice when you are half present, your body in one place and your mind already racing ahead to the next thing. Notice without judgment. Notice with curiosity. Notice with compassion. And then gently return. Return to your breath. Return to the person in front of you. Return to the task at hand. Return to the awareness that this moment, exactly as it is where God is meeting you. Saint Seraphina spent 40 years learning this practice. 40 years of returning again and again from distraction to presence. She wrote that even in her final days she still found herself drifting, still had to practice the art of gathering herself back. This should comfort you. You are not meant to achieve perfect presence. You are meant to practice the returning. Every return is a yes to God. Every return strengthens the muscle of attention. Every return builds the capacity to hold the sacred. You are not alone in this work. You are surrounded by witnesses. You are upheld by prayers you will never know about. You are guided by a wisdom that has been leading you your entire life toward this moment of recognition. The fact that you are hearing these words right now is not coincidence. You have been prepared for this. Your soul has been readied. The exhaustion and the scattering and the sense of loss have all been working together to bring you to this place of decision. Will you continue to live fragmented, your attention pulled in 1,000 directions, your peace stolen by the daily errors you have never learned to resist? Or will you accept the invitation to live differently, to become someone who knows how to be present, who has learned the sacred art of paying attention, who can hold the divine presence even in the midst of ordinary chaos? This is your moment. This is your call. Do not wait for conditions to be perfect. Do not wait until you feel ready. You will never feel ready. Begin now. Begin today. Begin with the next breath. Place your hand over your heart and say the words, Lord, gather me back to you. Let this be your anchor. Let this be your returning point. Every time you notice yourself scattering, every time you catch yourself in the act of distraction, return with these words. They will remake you. They will teach your soul to rest in God even while your hands are busy with daily work. They will transform the ordinary hours of your life into a continuous conversation with the divine.